Okay, I just want to do this quick YouTube video and just kind of walk you through verbally how this virtual practicum is going to work. So we'll obviously connect online. I'll send you the link. It'll just be one-on-one, me and one of you. And I'm going to ask you some questions, some scenarios. You have to kind of walk me through all the steps verbally. So, for example, we'll start out with the transfers, and we'll do all three transfers first, and then when we have time left, we'll do the manual muscle testing, goniometry, all within 10 minutes, just like everybody else. So, with the transfers, I'll start out with sit to stand, stand to sit, sit, and I'll tell you the level of assist, and I'll tell you which side is weak with the client. And you need to kind of walk through all these different steps. Tell me, verbalize each one of these steps. I'm going to ask you not to have this list in front of you. You're going to have to memorize this list. I'll be watching so I can see that you're not just reading from a list. Hopefully be honest with that. And I'll be checking you off that you get each one of these right, that you list each one. When it says protect the weak side, you'll have to tell me which side you want to protect the client. Obviously, their weak side, is it the left or is it the right? I'll tell you which side is weak. So that's that one, and then similar with the stand pivot, I'll give you a level of assist, mod max assist. You have to tell me, is it one hand or two hands? So for the minimal assist, obviously it's one hand, mod or max, it's two hands from the front. You have to tell me which side you're going to transfer to. So we'll do a scenario of transferring onto a toilet, off of the toilet. So you have to tell me, I'm going to position the wheelchair to the left or to the right of the toilet. So the strong leg is facing the toilet. And we'll transfer onto the toilet, and then we'll switch the wheelchair to the other side. So again, they're transferring their strong leg will be closest to the wheelchair, and then go back onto the wheelchair. So you have to kind of tell me, just walk me through it verbally, so it makes sense to me that I can understand, that you understand how they're going to transfer off that strong leg as they do it. And again, it's going through each one of these steps, making sure you hit each one. Same with the squat pivot. And I will send this to you. You should have this so you can see it and you can memorize it. So again, try to memorize all these steps just like everybody else is. Don't cheat and stick the list somewhere so you're just reading it off. Try to memorize the list, because that's a big part of what you're going to be graded on with this. And then when we get to the goniometry, I'll say a particular motion, and I'll say whether they have full motion against gravity or not. So for example, I might say scapula elevation. They demonstrate that they have full motion against gravity. So you'll say, okay, how do I position their body? They're going to be sitting on the mat. How do I position my hands when anatomy palpating? They'll say, I'm going to be pushing the top of their shoulder, pushing down, palpating the upper trapezius. You'll say the gravity plane against gravity. That's all you need to do for the scapula. Shoulder, for example, if I said shoulder flexion, and they demonstrated full active range of motion against gravity, this is how you would answer it. You would say body position. I want them standing or standing up with their arm 90 degrees of flexion. Where I'm going to put my hand, I'm going to palpate on the anterior deltoid and the elbow region, pushing down towards the floor. This is gravity plane against gravity. Then we go down to the goniometry. Where do you place the goniometer? How do you place their body? In this case, you can have them supine on their back. It's the body position. The goniometer position would be where's the axis, the lateral border of the shoulder. You could have verbalized that somehow, so I can tell you, I can figure out where to put it, lining it up with the greater trochanter, all that. And then the gravity plane against gravity in that case. Let's say I said they don't have full range against gravity. Let's say it's shoulder flexion, and they demonstrate no motion against gravity. So the body position in that case would be on their side. They're not really palpating. The anatomy going to be the anterior deltoid. The gravity plane here would be gravity minimized. And all this would be the same. And then with shoulder abduction, a difference. So it isn't always against gravity. For the goniometer, it would be, as you know, gravity minimized. They'd be doing like angels in the snow on their back. That's kind of how it's going to work. When we get down to the end, I will verbalize, or maybe, yeah, verbalize, you'll be able to see me. So I'll verbalize, I did shoulder flexion, and it was less than halfway against gravity, and you'll say 2 plus. Did shoulder flexion, and it was greater than a half, but not all the way up against gravity, and you'll say 3 minus. That sort of thing. All right, so let me know if you have questions on that.